All right, what's going on, man? So, basically, what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to do a quick breakdown of the false rapture doctrine using the Bible. Now, I understand that some people they don't like to use the Apocrypha because they're not familiar with it, or they feel that it's not a part of the Bible, but that's generally out of ignorance that they don't know that it's a part of the original Bible. For those of us with that additional knowledge, we understand. We can utilize Second Ezra 13. I got on my notes here verses 16 through 24. But what we're going to do today, we're just going to use what most of the like say the Christian people would be familiar with. So we're going to go ahead and start it, in the New Testament, and we're going to use Christ's words. It's still going to be kind of difficult because you have to understand that Christians, they don't read the Bible, and also they generally try to put more emphasis on Paul versus actually listening to what Christ said, even though it's going to be written in red. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. We're going to go ahead and start with Matthew chapter 24. And I'm going to go ahead and start it off here in my notes. I'm going to start reading from verse 36. It's going to take a little bit, but I'm going to try to keep it under 15 minutes or less. So here it says, but of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noah were, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days of that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of Son of Man be. Then shall be two in the field, the one shall be taken and the other left. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, the one shall be taken and the other left. All right. So the people that got took in the flood, if you remember, those are the people, they didn't make it to the other side of the flood. They were dead. They were taken. All right. What Christian theology has done is they've taken this word and they completely flipped it. But if you tell them that they're flipping it, they'll sit there and argue with you, even though Christ just said, as in the days of Noah, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. All right. So we're going to continue. So once again, when you go back and you look at it, we're going to take it back up to verse 39. And knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall the coming of the Son of Man be. All right. Now we're going to jump over to, I got written down here, Luke chapter 17. So, if you can just, follow along here in your Bible. Let's get that Luke chapter 17. So Luke chapter 17, and we're going to jump down to around we'll start around verse 26. All right. Like I said, I'm going to try to make it quick as possible, but it may take some time. So, here's the second witness. It says, and as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. Okay, what we just proven here is we just related to, when you go back to Matthew, we just related that verse of took them all away, destroyed them all. To be taken are those that are destroyed. Now, those of us that are in knowledge, we know we can show this in Second Ezra, but we have to understand that, a lot of, brothers and sisters, they ain't woke up yet. And by default, through captivity after captivity, we have been taught as a people not to read the Bible for ourselves, and we're going to continue here. Verse 28, likewise, also as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed. In that day, he which shall be upon the housetop and his stuff in the house, let him not come down to take it away. And he that is in the field, let him not likewise not return back. Basically, what it's saying in verse 31 is like, hey, don't be trying to go back for some stuff. Those are just, worldly things. Goes on to say, remember Lot's wife. All right. I'm going to continue on here. Whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it. And whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it. I tell you, in that night, there shall be two men in one bed. The one shall be taken and the other shall be left. The two shall be grinding together. The one shall be taken and the other left. Two men shall be in the field. The one shall be taken and the other left. So, and it goes on here. Let me get this out the way here. It goes on, it says, and they answered and said unto him, where, Lord? And he said unto them, wheresoever the body is, thither will the eagles be gathered together. All right. Now that's going to be very important. So we're going to jump back over to, we want to jump back over to Matthew 22 through 28. So Matthew chapter 24. We'll go to verse 22. Get this down here. We're going to go 22. Start at verse 22 over here. Because this is very important. Because he just mentioned those eagles, all right? So, verse 22 says, when he had heard these words, they marveled and left him and went their way. The same day came to him Sadducees. I'm sorry, my mistake. I said 24. Make sure I'm in the right chapter myself. I'm reading the wrong thing there. So that's Matthew 24 and 22. My mistake. Says here, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Then if any man say unto you, lo, here's Christ, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Behold, I have told you before. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers. Believe it not. For as the lightning cometh out of the east and shineth even unto the west, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. Verse 28 again. For wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered. A carcass, that's basically, doesn't take a genius to realize a carcass is a dead body. All right. So that precept for that was what we just read over in Luke. So we're going to get the precept for that's going to be Matthew 24:28. So I'm just get that precept real quick, and it's going to take us back over to where we were at in Luke, which is going to be 17:37. So we're going to hop right back over to Luke, because you got to piece all this stuff together for them. So Luke 17:37. That's fine. Here we go. Got Luke here, 17:37, because this is the precept. Remember, we had to do it precept upon precept, line upon line. All right. So it clearly says here, and they answered and said unto him, where, Lord? And he said unto them, wheresoever the body is, thither will the eagles be gathered together. Okay. So wheresoever the body is, thither will the eagles be gathered together. So, hopefully that gives some understanding on that particular subject. Like I said, it's kind of, I'm just kind of giving it like the fast version of it. But basically, you want to be left behind. Okay. You want to be left behind. I don't know what the pastors out there teach or what have you, with their false doctrine, but Jesus Christ, it says, hey, you don't want to be taken. That's what happened to the people inside of Gomorrah. That's what happened to the people in the days of Noah, you know. So hopefully, this video helps you when explaining to the Christian people, who you're talking to or what have you. But you basically, like I said, you want to be left behind. That's in the red letters, but nowadays, people, they believe what they want to believe. All right. But yeah, that's pretty much it. But hopefully, I cleared it up. And if not, I'll have to, just go back over and redo the video again. But hopefully that clears everything up. So I think that'll be about it.